Weinstein's surrender is the first time and the first criminal case to arise from the allegations by more than 80 women. Weinstein has repeatedly denied having non-consensual sex with anyone. CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman is here with us. Also with us, New York Times correspondent and CBS News contributor Jodi Kantor. Jodi co-wrote the first story about allegations against Weinstein. The reporting earned a Pulitzer Prize and helped create a worldwide reckoning on sexual harassment and assault. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Jodi, what do you think this moment means for the women that you've talked to over the past year?
A tremendous amount, and not only from Harvey Weinstein's alleged victims, but really other women who have been victims too. Harvey Weinstein always had his own private system of justice. He would hire private investigators. He would hire fancy lawyers to settle allegations that it turns out nobody knew about for years and years afterwards. There was an NYPD inquiry into his behavior in 2015 that mysteriously disappeared. So this is kind of the first time he's facing the same justice system as the rest of us.
Do you have any idea, Rikki, about why it's happening now? The allegations have been so public. Many women have wondered, why hasn't he been brought to court sooner? Do you have any thoughts on that? We hear he will be there today. Bail will be set at $1 million, and he'll have to wear an ankle bracelet. But why today, finally, do you think?
Well, whether it's today, next week, or last week, the reality is this. Although we may collectively believe, because there are 80 women who have made allegations against him, that he may be guilty of something and some heinous things, that it's a far cry from belief than it is to having evidence that a prosecutor believes he or she can prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Cy Vance, the DA in New York, is very precise about when or he will not indict, and he believes that you have to have the adequate quality and quantity of proof. He eventually convened a grand jury. They have interviewed dozens, if not hundreds, of witnesses. They have gotten lots and lots of documents, and they were not going to go forward with any of these cases, no matter how the rest of us may have felt, until they felt they were ready, and they're ready now.
What happens now to him?
They go to court. The procedure in court is routine. He will be taking a mugshot, and he will have prints at the precinct, goes to court, set bail. You've talked about the bail package. One of the real questions is, where is he going to reside pending trial? And then the system starts, conferences, motions, and finally a trial or a plea.
Jodi, I want to go back to something you talked about, the system of justice that he created for himself, or escaping justice. What do you know about that network that was around him that allowed all of this to happen? We see him doing the perp walk, but what happened to the network that allowed him to operate for so many years?
Well, the network has largely fallen apart because he had a system of levers and favors and being able to work the channels of power in New York and Washington and Los Angeles, and that's gone now. He's very isolated. His lawyer says he's very lonely and frustrated. Now, could he still use means to, say, settle out charges privately with women to evade further accountability? Yes, that is still possible. But we should also say this investigatory grand jury is still working, so we don't know if this is even the last set of charges in New York City, and there are investigations in other cities as well.
And might anybody who was a part of that network who knew what they were doing be in trouble in terms of that grand jury?
That's a great question, and I think the other question is, will more women come forward now? Because women feel more comfortable coming forward when they know there will be accountability and when they feel the system works. And so I'd like to know who else is watching this clip right now and saying, maybe it's safe for me to tell my story to the police.
Does it say anything, Rikki, that they're doing this so publicly? You know, in many high-profile cases, you can make arrangements to turn in at early in the morning or go in through a side door or something. The fact that this is so public, do you think they're sending a message here?
Well, there was an agreement that had to be reached between Ben Brafman, Harvey Weinstein's attorney, and the prosecutors. So, yes, there are times when you could go.
I didn't see Ben in that picture.
Ben was not in that picture. He may be inside already, or he may be already at the courthouse. But the reality is that we know that the police and the government do want to make a public statement. I don't think that we would be truthful if we thought that that was not so, and we just saw it.
Mm-hmm. Jodi, it has been, I think, 230-something days since we've seen Harvey Weinstein and since your reporting first brought forward these allegations. Since then, the MeToo movement has ricocheted around the world and set off a discussion about the systemic things that take place that allow this behavior to. What's changed in that time?
Today is a great day to discuss that because we know that social attitudes have changed, but the question today is, how does the law of the land respond?
And this is the beginning of that change,
This is
the
the
criminal
beginning.
part. Yeah. Thank you, Jodi.
All right, Jodi, thanks, Rikki. Good to see you.